When it comes to our education system, we can certainly say that it has its fair share of flaws, but a sudden fright that frequents our environment is the violence within our halls.
When I say there's violence in our halls, I'm referring to the constant fighting and growing resentment among students. I've seen a spike in violence from our generation more than any other. You can see this anywhere in the hallways with my peers cursing, yelling, arguing, and they fight with each other. Now, if you ask me what I think is happening, I believe that it's the mental health issues that children are struggling with today that is causing the violence in our hallways. Mental health is one of the cornerstones of human functionality and is one of the most important aspects of a person that must be maintained with care. Starting from a young age, mental scars can be formed and they last for years to come and could take years of therapy to undo.
What I noticed over the years is that the school systems are paying more and more attention to the mental health of the students simply because of the violence that is happening in the community and the schools. Students are not only harming themselves, they are seeking to harm others, okay, as a reaction and in effect of what's hurting them.
The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists said at least 1 in 5 youths are diagnosed with some sort of mental health disorder, and that these are the most common of which behavioral issues, mood, anxiety, and attentional issues. There are many people who say that social media is a major factor in mental health in the youth today. The amount and type of screen time can greatly affect how teens perceive and react to violence.
I've been in education for about 14 years, and I've been in mental health for about 12 years. And it wasn't until I started working in Anne Arundel County where I noticed a significant spike in the mental health issues that the youth were experiencing. In addition to the culture of violence that spiked after students having access to social media platforms as well as television shows that are no longer screened on a regular basis. What I believe is that students struggle with their mental health because they don't have access to outlets where they can express themselves emotionally without feeling the pressure of society, social media, and their peers. Something that I noticed in addition to that is the access to lethal means such as guns, drugs, things that they cannot come back from have absolutely increased in the last 3 to 4 years. And it's really becoming heartbreaking because the students are not sharing it with the people who are able to help them the most. I absolutely think that there is a huge connection as well as a disconnect between students receiving the care that they need to support how they're feeling emotionally and mentally. That's preventing them from doing things like lashing out toward others, committing suicides, harming themselves by self-harm and overdoses. It's really alarming.
Or, something that I admire that Steven Spielberg always does when he makes a Jurassic Park, even if it's rated, acceptable, he always comes out with his own warning first and says, don't bring young kids to this or don't bring people of a certain age. So maybe what we should have done is been more vigilant, in that kind of approach, 10, 15 years ago, and said, really, this is not for 13-year-olds.
The view of the issue at hand does have some facts behind it. The National Library of Medicine has found that children and adolescents who spend most of their time watching TV are at a higher risk for violent behaviors like physical fighting and bullying.
According to an article written in 2005 by the Senate Committee on the Judiciary, violent crime would be half of what it is if television technology was never made. The article goes on to say that there would be 10,000 fewer homicides, 70,000 fewer rapes, and 700,000 fewer assaults without this technology. This factor leads into the bigger picture on how screens are affecting the minds of the youth. While there are many people regulating what their kids are exposed to online, we need to focus on how that media is affecting their mental state. We would like to address our concerns to the incoming presidency. According to the Kids Count Data Center, in 2023, there were over 56 million people in the U.S. aged 12 to 24. This is the most susceptible group of people to mental illnesses.
As the incoming presidency faces these challenges, it is crucial to prioritize policies that protect and promote the mental health of the next generation. This includes enforcing stronger regulations on media content, particularly violent or harmful material, as well as investing in mental health resources within schools and communities.